Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. This is going to be an episode with some more housekeeping, because this is starting to get annoying to me, personally. So we're just going to go through our trade routes and see what's good and what's not good. We can lose this one, we can lose this one, we can lose this one. Anyone that's inactive, I'm just going to scrap at this point. Mutual embargoing has created some barriers in our economy, and I don't necessarily need to concern myself with keeping those routes open when they're costing bureaucracy I could be using elsewhere. So, just getting rid of all this stuff that's unprofitable or inactive, and then we're going to see how our customs union looks. Oh, apparently there are a bunch more. Alright, sorry, I thought there was just a couple more at the bottom. There were not. I don't know why that keeps happening. I mean, it keeps happening because I'm missing it, but I don't know why that specifically. Anyway, it's fine. Exile from the North German Federation, don't need to concern myself with that. Gosh, there are a lot of these. I've been doing a lot of trade, y'all. Absolutely overwhelming abundance, to be completely honest. Am I about to fix my bureaucracy problem right here by doing this? Because bananas, if so. Gosh, it's a lot easier on your trade when a bunch of people are embargoing you. We'll go from the bottom from here because we are... that is what it is. So, are we doing any more importing? We're importing hardwood from Senegal that I don't think we need to be doing, but that's okay. We're importing a lot of coal from Great Britain, which is a little bit of a surprise. Obviously, we're importing a lot of silk. There's the war with the Gaza uprising. And we won it immediately. Cool, I did it. So all of that was just to make sure that Lorenzo Marquez didn't get incorporated as soon as I wanted it to. Awesome. You did a great job, radicals. So we're importing liquor from the UK, which I feel like I absolutely don't need. Yeah, I definitely don't need that trade route. So that can go. Oop. Not in the right place. I'm importing iron from Great Britain as well. Which, do I need that? Not really. I can certainly live without it. And I'm importing some silk from the Ottoman Empire, which I do need. I'm bringing in coal from France, I can get rid of that. I'm bringing in tools from Great Britain, I can get rid of that. I'm bringing in opium from Great Britain, which I do need. And I'm bringing coal in from Great Britain, I can get rid of that. So, that means all my other trade routes are now export routes only, which is pretty solid. Let's sort by goods. I'm only exporting clothes to one country, so that's definitely something I want to be doing more of. I've certainly got absolutely huge amounts of luxury clothes that I could export if the interface were not being buggy, which is fine. Oh boy. Oh right, because I don't have any freaking bureaucracy. Well, that'll be what that is. So that's part of why we have to have these bureaucracy buildings at the top of the queue instead of the bottom. I'm realizing that I need more construction capacity, I think, because the investment pool is still going up at an absolutely absurd rate. The fact that it's going up this fast tells me that this situation where it gets topped out only happened pretty recently, so I'm not too far behind in expanding the construction sector, but I do need to start doing that. Do I have any states that don't have electricity right now? I need to figure that out. Looks like no. Which is fine. Obviously, I do need to build up a bunch of extra power plants. So I'm thinking of enacting migration controls. If I could get a little bit more authority, now that they're out of government, I could just suppress the petite bourgeoisie. And I'm strongly considering it, because they're a difficult block. If I could get the yeoman farmers out of the Republican Party. That would be fine. If I could get them maybe headed up by a communist, that would be preferable. But for now, they're going to be where they are. The Witchita Advocate, an explicitly partisan newspaper founded by members of the movement to enact regulatory bodies in Wichita, has published its first issue. Between advertisements and political cartoons, it hosts ruthless critique of government policy. There was a certain brilliance to it. By printing it on the cheapest paper, by skimping on ink, by flooding it with advertisements and large text, one could produce a profitable paper for only a penny per copy, while its competitors sold for 5 to 10 times that amount. By making the paper relentlessly and shamelessly endorse a certain viewpoint, one could have every working person in the city aware of it by evening. If one's competitors refused to stoop that low, they would become responsible for their own suffocation. How long can a partisan paper last? Extra movement support, or is that so? Deny them a printing license. Extra radicalism. Let's deny them a printing license. Yeah, get radical, idiot. Didn't bring them up by 5, only brought them up by 4, but that's okay. That's just fine. This movement to enact migration controls is a little bit suspect at this point. But it simply is what it is. So what do I want to do next? Silver Legion's getting a lot of power from a bunch of generals, but I can work on that a little bit. Trade unions are now powerful. Excellent. So that's giving me way extra workforce ratio due to them being powerful. Very good. And these government buildings are now fully built up, and they are employed, and we are nearly ready to start increasing exports once again. Very good. Alright, we'll just give that a few more weeks. An aristocratic revolt in Persia. I'm not going to get involved in this one. I learned my lesson trying to invade Great Britain before. Unfortunately, Senegal is in the midst of a revolt, so I can't steal the territory that is rightfully mine from them right now. What if I went after Transvaal? Northern Cape, 6.2 infamy. They might... A bunch of countries are going to step in, though. Including France, which I prefer not to do. Which I prefer not to fight, because I'm trying to get relations good with them. Or at least up to Midland. Let me see. Migration Controls movement is actually causing quite a few... Well, that's not that many radicals. 32k per month is... 32k per month is how much per year? That's like 360 per year, 370, something like that, 380. That's pretty significant. I am seeing this number going up. Anyway, I talked about increasing the size of the construction sector. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We currently have 161 construction sectors, so I need 39 more. Let's build up ones in Colorado. 5... Montana, we'll throw 5 in there. How's California? California's good. Oregon, let's add 3. Washington, let's add 3. And that's how many? I got 16, so I need 25 more. Kind of want to build up a lot of these states in Central America, at least a bit, because these places are really low population. They've got a lot of carrying capacity. That's government admin. So there's 10 levels. We'll build up 5 levels in Mato Grosso. There's definitely space for building up in Mato Grosso. Let's see. We'll build 5 in Miranda as well. We'll build 3 more in Miranda. And 2 in Bolivar. And that means we need, what, 5 more? 36 plus 61. Yeah, we need to increase by 39. So 3 more. Let's just build a couple more in the African states. And now that these naval bases are nearly done, I'm going to throw all of those at the top of the queue. And there is psychoanalysis unlocked. Excellent. A little bit of extra influence never hurt anybody, especially me with all this frickin' infamy I got. Ooh, Theodore Roosevelt died. So that's a big change. Our yeoman farmers are now headed up by Albert Weems, who is a radical. So that's very good. Presents some interesting options. Zeppelins is spreading to us. I was going to take that off of the construction thing. How's our market for oil? Do we need more oil? Where's oil? I know it's cheap. Maybe it's not. If it's not, I'll need to build up more oil resources. It's reasonably cheap. Sort by market price again, just to make sure. Tanks are expensive. Well, we need to build up more war machine industries then. That's right. That's why you build up aircraft carriers, to make sure the war machine industries are profitable. Completely forgot about that. Atlantic Fleet needs some promotions. Not you. You. Not you. Not you. We'll just give this guy twice. He's in the armed forces, he's a social democrat, he seems pretty good. He's an experienced naval commander as well, so that's important. Alright, so now we've got a good pile of bureaucracy to play with. Let's see what we can export. Who wants planes? Britain. Only Britain wants planes, that's just fine. Who wants furniture? Someone's going to want furniture. Almost nobody. Oh, that's really interesting. Furniture is usually a fantastic investment. That's a bit of a shock, to be completely honest. Export routes for guns come and they go. I'm going to kind of let other countries handle that. I've been on protect domestic supply. I should be on promote exports. Fabric I can certainly... Only Paraguay. Interesting. Hardwood? Anyone want this hardwood? France wants this hardwood. Very good. Set that to encourage exports. Fabric is already on encourage exports. Now dyes. We've got a lot of dyes, and France wants all of them. France needs dyes. What about tobacco? No takers on tobacco. Liquor. Transvaal and Tunisia. I'm not going to export to communist Senegal because that's not going to be a country forever. So France is our major trading partner at this time. That's liquor again. I want sugar. Nobody wants to buy our sugar. That's fine. Explosives are very profitable to export at the moment. Fruit. Okay, nothing. Alright, so we've recently flipped over to oil-based production methods in a lot of our industrial buildings. If we go to household plastics with our glassworks, these ones are actually going to increase in profitability. And all we need is oil for that, so let's go ahead and do it. They'll be fine in Ohio. They went way less profitable, which is kind of shocking, actually. Wow, a lot of these buildings are horrifically underemployed. It seems like they're more profitable producing ceramics. So let's definitely do that. We'll set them all to producing ceramics. And we'll see... Okay, so they're all producing ceramics now. So what does that do to the glass market? Glass market is way over productive, but we can export glass to frickin' everybody now. In fact, we're going to set up just as many export routes as we can afford, because productive capacity is so very high. That's great. Let's just take a quick look at these trade routes. Export route to Netherlands, or to Paraguay of fabric has become unproductive. Oh, nope, never mind. It's good to go. It was just pretending to be unproductive. Import route of hardwood from Senegal, I'm going to scrap that one. Export route of ceramics to Great Britain is unproductive, but only just. We'll keep that one for the time being. Gonna get everyone on electric sewing machines. So there are a couple places that can't, and why not? Because they're in other countries. Alright, cool. That's fine. That's just fine. We've once again kind of run up against the problem of having a hyper-productive economy. Oh, interesting. So actually, producing elastics is going to be more productive now because clothes are cheaper than luxury clothes in our market. Where's clothes? Where's clothes? Your clothes, sell them to me. Yeah, we're at about even right now, but it's a little bit more productive. So some of these can go over to elastics without a problem. Let's get the ones in Cundinamarca over there. And Cajamarca as well. Gold depleted in California. That's fine. We can't just let them leave, same as we always do. And that's just fine again. So, because we got the Continental Railroad thing, a lot of the West Coast is actually hyper overpopulated at this time. Not in the sense of resources, but in the sense of, like, there's a lot of labor available in a lot of these states that I am not filling with industry at the moment. Just because I'm so much more focused on building up other stuff. So I've recently done 2 massive expansions of the construction sector. What has that done to the steel market? Steel market's still pretty solid. And glass market, of course, is a runaway success. Once I've got elevators, I'll be able to enable the highest urban center production method, and that's going to cost some of that glass, so that's going to be useful. But for now, I'm really where I want to be. Alaska is still in the process of being colonized, and that is taking forever, but it is what it is. So what else do I want to get up to here? Oh, another Hell on Earth event. The perpetrators will pay for their crimes. Gonna do that same as I always do. So the East Indies and Java are split up now. So there's a lot of territory I could. Oh right, I was gonna grab Kanak. Oh, but Kanak is in a revolution. Gosh darn it! I wasn't paying close attention. I should have been. So, Aotearoa, I could take bits of, if I truly wished to. Gosh, this is not great right here. this situation here. You might try and take all that territory just to give it to Uluru, because the situation's not great. Southeast Asia is basically where it is at game start, except that Chiang Mai has been annexed by Siam, apparently. So, I want to build up friends in China / take territory. So where do we have that's got a lot of silk plantation capacity? Zhejiang has a lot of silk plantation capacity, 230, with 390 in Fu Jian. That's a good place to take. Only be 8.5 infamy. I could conquer that. All right, but let's be honest here. Because once I'm not importing my own silk, once I'm not importing silk, that'll be really good for my market. If I grab Jiangxi, I'll need to also grab either Zhejiang, Fujian, or Shaozhuo. Shaju. Don't come at me. I'm not great at. I don't speak any of the languages from this part of the world, even a little bit. I am doing I'm doing fine with that. So 8.5. I would need to fight the Heavenly Kingdom for it, probably. Only Shanxi Click would intervene. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's get up to just a tiny bit of territorial aggression over here. Nothing really serious. Just a bit, just a little bit of land theft. You know, just a wee bit of land theft. I'm gonna mobilize everyone. We'll get the lads together. Let's go ahead and get the American Expeditionary Force conscripting. We will move them to New Guinea. And we'll grab the Atlantic Fleet, our primary fleet, which is huge now, to the area as well. So, speaking of which, I think we can go ahead and cut some of these dreadnoughts and start hiring some more carriers and battleships. So I'm going to cut 20 levels of dreadnoughts. And we're going to need an additional 10 levels of carriers. So we'll throw those in New York. And then an additional 10 levels of battleships. We'll put those in New York as well. No, we'll put those in California. Because there's a lot of labor available in California. In fact, we'll queue in a bunch more. We'll queue in another 10 levels of battleships each in Oregon and Washington. And then we'll just disband dreadnoughts as needed. We do have a tank shortage. Again, war machine industry is not enormously profitable here, which is a little bit of a shock again. Honestly. Our home goods company, we are getting these bonuses, I think. But this one in particular might end up being an issue. So we're going to need more war machine industries. Before we do any of that, let's throw all these naval bases at the top of the queue. Just to get them building. And then we'll grab some of our war machine industries. Where do we want to build up war machine industries? I think probably on the West Coast, because we've got a lot of labor available in those areas. We'll do 10 levels in Washington, and we'll do 10 levels in Oregon. And before that, we need to build up some additional railways in Oregon. Oh, I can go to electric railways, I think. I've never shown electric railways to be super duper profitable, but I wonder if that'd be the right call. Put those there, and those rest will get built as they get built. How long has this episode been going? It's been going for 20 minutes. More than 20 minutes. So, is anyone going to step in and stop me from taking this territory from the Heavenly Kingdom, or can I simply take it? Because if I could take it, that would be extremely rude, and I would be very happy with it. Oh boy, we got events. We got events. The Panama Cyclone. A cyclone has hit the state of Panama from the sea, tearing through homes and people alike. It destroyed our home and wrecked my fishing boat. My family won't be safe, but how am I going to feed them? A tragedy, but what can be done? 20% devastation? We should put some money into relief. That's not that much. Let's do it. Lobbyist lectures in Washington. A man employed by a powerful member of the American-British Fellowship is delivering lectures and pamphlets addressed to targeted constituencies in Washington. One lawmaker writes to a fellow politician, "Each day he finds me. I know not how. I am quite disturbed. What are his aims? That hired emissary of the American-British Fellowship haunts the doors of the American Assembly, much like the ghosts of the murdered Banquo. Make it clear lobbies are responsible for the emissaries they hire. Weaker industrialists higher legitimacy, or any concerns about the emissary's behavior are unfounded, stronger industrialists." I'm going to do the first one. I love getting that legitimacy. Amnesty for dissidents. The industrialists have petitioned for the government for amnesty for former dissidents abroad. This notably includes William Ullman, a former associate of theirs. We have long since held the stance the actions of past administrations have no bearing on the essential nature of the American nation. With this principle in mind, we ask that you grant forgiveness to certain figures who have been exiled overseas in the past, and put these actions behind us once and for all. So William Ullman is a protectionist. That's probably fine. They deserve a reward for their faithful support. 3 approval. William Ullman shows back up. Or if we had not exiled him, they would not have supported us at all. Interesting. I'm going to do the first one. Bring him back in. Get a little bit of extra opinion from the industrialists. Maybe they'll not gripe and grouse when we do migration controls. If we do migration controls, which I'm not hugely inclined to do at this stage. Lax immigration has been a huge driver for our economy. So, you know, it is what it is. God, look at all these power plants we're trying to build up. So, let's see if we can... I don't think anyone's actually going to get involved in this, so I'm feeling pretty good about our capabilities, but obviously now I want to grab more, but I'm not going to. What if I just get myself a little treaty port? Just a treaty... Well, I can't do that because I'm taking the only state they've got that's on the sea that doesn't already have a treaty port. So that's that was my mistake. But you know, it is what it is. So this will let us build up our silk production capacity, and that will allow us to not rely on foreign silk nearly as much, which will be nice because we're currently importing tons and tons of silk. It's, I think, basically the only thing we're importing a lot of. Modern battle fleet tactics is is actually a really, really good thing to have. It's going to reduce our morale loss and increase our morale damage for our naval bases. Ooh, and we're building a bunch in Japan. That's fun. Everyone's neutral. We're here to do the thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and start our naval invasion. Should be 2 weeks from now. Not going to be much of a problem. The game thinks I'm not very good at money, but I'm so good at money. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this number. Might be able to get up to $1 billion in 6 years, but I don't think so. I haven't been able to get up to $1 billion since they reworked how they calculated GDP, and I think 1.6. Ooh, French Republic has expelled our diplomats. Well, that's a shame, France. I don't know why you're so belligerent towards me, but it is what it is. I don't wish to be rivals with you, but I could be. It would not displease me to be rivals with you. Ooh, Afro-Caribeño mass immigration. Wonderful. From Santo Domingo. Excellent. Alright, we've taken the state we wish to take. So yeah, I mean, as soon as you're willing to give me Fu Jian, we'll be good to go. I don't want to destroy your country or anything. Oh my goodness, we're going forward very quickly. Are we about to outrun their army and just look at this? Oh my goodness. See, this is what light tanks does for you. Inefficient agriculture. The industrialists have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farms in Wyoming, stating that their undeniable inefficiency should be immediately addressed. The fertile soil of our people suffers, relegated to tired and callous hands, too exhausted from manual labor to perform at a decent level, too poor to be able to use more advanced tools that would make them more profitable. This industry is just a useless investment. We should follow their advice. Actually, I'm gonna defend that front, because that front, I want to close that stuff out. I don't want to get cut off from my fleet. Plus, I feel very confident in my ability to win these battles fast. Typing armies are not using great production methods. There we go. Perfect. You ready to give in yet? Oh, not quite yet. Alright. Well, I'll conquer the rest of the country. I don't care. I don't care. I'll conquer the rest of the country. The armed forces have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. Choosing is always hard, not because the decision is difficult to make, but because the consequences can be a bit inconvenient. Rumors are spreading like smoke from a factory, staining the clear air of the United States of America with the dense and vicious poison. This needs to be addressed. You need to accept we cannot always please everyone. I'm going to say this needs to be addressed once again. Same as I've been doing. And there's oil turbine. So, I think at this stage, what does the market for coal look like? The market for coal is pretty high, and at least some of that's coming from power plants. 7K of it's coming from power plants. Now, if we went to oil turbine, we've got a lot of oil capacity here, friends. So, I think I'm just going to flip them right over. Let's do it. Where's the power plants? Where are they? Here they are. Alright. So that has made a significantly larger market for oil in our market. But we definitely have areas where we can build that up. What is infrastructure looking like here? It'll cost 120 to build up those. We have about 60. How much are we getting from railways each? I could go to electric. Let's build up 4. I think that'll give us 100 extra. We'll slide those in at the top. And then we'll just build up all 60 levels of oil right here in Miranda. And that'll be just fine. Alright, the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom is willing to give us Fu Jian. I will propose. Thank you. And next, we will queue in. Oh my gosh, look at that incorporate cost. That's incredible. There's a lot of turmoil here, friends. I think I'm going to need a suppression decree. And infrastructure is doing just fine. Taxation capacity is short, but let's reset production methods. And most importantly, let's build some frickin' silk plantations. Silk plantations need to be on automatic irrigation and rail transport, for sure. Are we going to need railways? We absolutely are. Let's build 5 levels of railways, and let's start with 70 levels of silk plantations. So how long are these railways going to take to build? Oh, that's not so bad. That should be fine. Gosh, these power plants are taking a long time. But I actually don't need these government admins at the moment, so I can throw those in at the bottom of the queue. I think the war machine industries can wait. I also want to build up my oil and silk production capacity. But, unfortunately, we have run out of time for this episode. My nerds, I have had a great time today. I hope you have had fun as well, and I will see you on the other side.